In this video, we match a diagram with a circuit board. I am happy to see some white noise, and we have picture. This Philips television gives a red light when applying power. It's probably standby mode, but I haven't got remote control. When pressing the channel up button on the top of the TV, it turns on for a second and then turns off again. No lights anymore, so really off. Let's see what's going on. Remove 5 screws in the back. Use a persuasion tool to loosen the clips. And we are in. We're gonna have to remove this metal cover because the PCBs are inside, and that's where we need to be. Trying to get into the television, I disassembled more than was necessary, so if you only need to examine the board, you can leave the LCD and plastic front assembled, but I did not know that at this moment in the disassembly process. It did give me a decent access to clean everything, so that was convenient. Removing the speaker cables took a bit of careful force. And we are able to remove the plastic front cover. These screws hold in the LCD panel. When I disassemble devices, I like to make a rough sketch of everything I remove, stick all the loose bits to it with sticky tape and number them sequentially. Together with some photos, it really makes the reassembly process a lot easier, and small bits won't be able to play hide and seek with us, which often seems to be their idea of fun. These LCD panel cables are quite fragile. Take your time removing them and don't use too much force. To remove the metal cover, the thin metal surrounding the ports should be bent up. And then we can lift it out. So this could very well be a power issue, because it turns off after a second of running. The first thing we need to do is check where all the power rails are created. A television like this is a collection of cooperating devices that need different voltages. A laptop works quite the same. For an explanation on laptops, which is quite applicable to this television, check the link to the video in the top of the screen. There are 4 boards here, just like most TVs, and the one with the most and largest capacitors and some coils is the power board, so that would be this board. We notice 3 equal looking ICs labeled 34063AP1, which turn out to be voltage converters, so these probably create the difference voltage rails needed for the TV to work. I also searched for 17PF9945 service manual, which was written on the back of the TV as its type number, which quickly produced the service manual, including the schematics. We can see in the service manual that pin 2 labeled switch emitter of these regulators should have a voltage on the output. Let's measure them. So this one has 3.5 volts. This one has 0 volts. And this one has 0 volts as well. Let's check the schematic and see where both 0 volts ICs have a common source. That would be this MOSFET, which is triggered by the standby line. So the measurements are correct because the TV is probably in standby. But as we saw at the start of the video, it cuts off immediately. So that would probably mean that this MOSFET stops forwarding current and could very well be the source of the problem. Now I could replace the MOSFET, but my only goal here is to get the TV working and I don't want to spend too much time and money on it. So what we could do is just short the 2 pins that should be shorted by the MOSFET with a little bridge. If that works, at least we can use the TV and we can always spend the time and money later to properly fix it. The MOSFET is very small, so instead of bridging the tiny MOSFET, I'll take 2 slightly larger points that are connected to the MOSFET, here and here. I'm not going to bore you with the whole reassembly process. It's the disassembly process in reverse order. And since I numbered each screw and connector and I have some photographs, it's quite easy. So, moment of truth.
Green light. Yay!
And after pressing the power button, we have picture instead of the red standby light. Great! I connected an old video recorder and it shows picture and we have sound. So with a tiny bit of logic, a multimeter and a soldering iron, we were able to revive this nice little television. If you like more videos of fixing TVs, check out this link where I repair a Samsung television. If you like my videos, please consider joining the channel to get access to sneak previews and early access to new videos. Thanks for joining me in this video. I hope you will join me in the next one as well. So please subscribe. Bye then.